At the weekend, Birmingham News continues to keep you informed about what's happening in Birmingham and right across the West Midlands. Sport, business, community news, entertainment, what's on, interesting chat and fascinating facts all about your area. It's the Weekend Magazine, the colour supplement, your perfect weekend companion. Saturdays and Sundays at 6, right here on Made in Birmingham.
Here I am at M Club on Summer Row. The stunning venue for the biggest reality TV series ever to hit Birmingham. M Club's game of attraction. Intrigue, jealousy, desire. The series will have all this and more. Do you want to play? Then come to M Club on Summer Row and ask for a very special invite or apply online. M Club's game of attraction. What are you waiting for?
And good morning from Midlands Today at breakfast. I'm Michael Colley. There was a small earthquake in Staffordshire last night. A seismometer in Newcastle-under-Lyme was one of the ways the tremor was detected, and the British Geological Survey has confirmed a measurement of 3.3 on the Richter scale, with the epicentre near the village of Churchley, near Tean, just north of Uttoxeter. It says reports referred to an initial rumbling and a bang just after 9:20. And if you've got a story to tell about the quake, please do email us, midlandstoday@bbc.co.uk. Other news, there are calls for the Labour leadership of Birmingham City Council to resign. It's after the authority revealed it has to pay up to £760 million to settle equal pay claims. And that's potentially more than the council's entire revenue budget for the year, which is used to fund services across the city. It has apologised, but the Conservative group says the council is unable to be trusted with the city's finances. More than half of all serious incidents where patients come to harm involving West Midlands ambulance services were due to clinical errors, according to a trust audit. The report refers, among other things, to issues surrounding cardiac arrests, choking management and inappropriate patient discharges. Naomi Rees-Issett's 18-year-old son Jamie died in January last year after going into cardiac arrest in Rugby. The family waited more than 17 minutes for an ambulance. Mrs Rees-Issett says she had to fight for an investigation by the ambulance service.
When I first said that we wanted a patient safety investigation carrying out, we were basically told that there wasn't enough staffing to enable them to investigate every single one. Jamie wasn't just a patient, he deserved his own investigation, and we, as a family, we deserved to understand why him and his friends had been left for such a huge amount of time.
Well, West Midlands Ambulance Service says it's taking on an extra 10 staff to look after patient safety incidents, and the Trust has a new system in place to deal with the backlog of cases. On to our travel news. We have a 1 hour, 3 mile delay on the M6 in Staffordshire going northbound between junction 11 for Cannock and junction 12 for Gailey. Well, in fact, trailing back before that now. A lorry and a car collided. The motorway's been shut since around 6 o'clock, and southbound is also slow.
Crossroads Motel, can I help you?
It was the soap which became a byword for cheap production values, yet it still attracted 15 million viewers a night. Forget that cheap production. That motel somewhere outside Birmingham is now the subject of a high-end television drama.
Now, it's not live, but it's as live, so don't make any mistakes because we cannot afford to stop.
Ready to record? Places please, everyone. As fast as we can. Little bit of hush.
Relaxing at a London hotel, far removed from wobbly motel walls, BAFTA-winning Helena Bonham Carter with fellow award-winning scriptwriter Russell T Davies. Nolly was never given a reason for her dismissal. Many thought it had to do with the star getting older.
Does it really matter what our envelope is? Oh, whatever. And we're so much better than we are.
A tranquil spot at Burlish Meadows. A few years ago, this pond was unloved, part of a 40-acre disused golf course. A project called Natural Networks has changed the landscape.
We had lots of burnt-out vehicles, and this pond in particular was, well, if we'd have come here 8 years ago, you'd have been looking at a pond where there were fridge freezers floating on it. See, nature's now starting to make the most of it. We've got all the reeds starting to come in around the edge, and that's started to do because we've managed to reshape the bank. And you come here in the spring and you'll see all the tadpoles going everywhere, so yeah, it's come on beautifully.
The transformation at Burlish is part of £1.2 million of European funding, which has seen 180 sites across Worcestershire given a nature boost. Birds are dancing in the greenery where there was once concrete, and where there was once bare earth, carpets of harefoot clover now lie. 4 years ago, this area around me was a mud bath. In 2020, they put down a wild seed mix which has been carefully managed, and hey presto, you get all these flowers such as the wild carrot here, which are great for pollinators. Worcestershire Wildlife Trust has been advising on the restoration, which will help provide a corridor to other nature sites in the area.
We are in a very impoverished, rather fragmented natural environment in this country, and putting these sorts of spaces back in is really important. That takes money as well as time and expertise and the goodwill of communities.
Providing a place for people to relax is also part of the plan, especially as the site lies close to 3 towns, Stourport, Kidderminster and Bewdley.
I think it's brilliant, I do. I think it's a wonderful place to come, and it brings people from further afield.
With Brexit done, the European funding that paid for this is no more. But Worcestershire County Council has accessed a further £300,000 from the government, so the work to boost nature can continue. Bob Hockenall, BBC Midlands Today, Worcestershire.
Our only tie with this country is the Christian religion. It's like in my house, it's like in my home in Cuba.
Father Juan Carballosa is more than 4,000 miles from home, but here in this Evesham church he can find peace. 10 months ago he fled his home country, Cuba, with his family.
So I'm sure if I come back to my country, I go to the jail.
An Orthodox priest, when thousands joined anti-government protests, Juan felt he couldn't stay silent.
From this moment, from this point, I speak for the freedom, because I see the real face of the Cuban government.
In the crackdown that followed, Juan says he was repeatedly detained by police. At times he says his house and his family was surrounded by armed men.
These people in front of my house with sticks and machetes and knives are under the protection of the Cuban government.
Juan and his family finally left Cuba in October last year. Yet after 10 months here, their asylum claim hasn't been progressed. With his documentary evidence in Spanish, the family needs specialist legal help, but Juan can't find a solicitor.
Many times I try to call by telephone, and most of the times the answer is the same. We are very busy, we cannot take any new case in this moment.
Well, it's partly because there are few solicitors who are willing and experienced in immigration work. Certainly there's none here in Evesham, so we have to send people to Birmingham, which is also complicated, and they are full up.
For those without savings, legal aid should be available, but experts claim the system is creaking.
It is very difficult for many asylum seekers across the country to find the legal help that they need. If asylum seekers have good advice, then the claims can be put together coherently and clearly, which makes it a lot easier for the decision makers to make the right decision first time.
The government says it's consulting with providers to make sure the demand for legal advice is met. It says its Illegal Migration Act will promptly remove those who arrive illegally. But for families like the Carballosas, the wait goes on. James Pearson, BBC Midlands Today, Evesham.